The discovery. In the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, the Zarthan science vessel, Luminous Seeker, drifted silently through the void. Its sleek, crystalline structure glimmered faintly in the light of distant stars. Inside, a team of the most brilliant alien minds in the known universe worked tirelessly, probing the mysteries of life across countless worlds. Dr. Xylos, the lead xenobiologist, hovered over a holographic display, his four eyes blinking in rapid succession as he processed the data before him. His tentacle-like appendages danced across the control panel, adjusting parameters and fine-tuning the analysis. "This can't be right," he muttered, his bioluminescent skin pulsing with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "Vilara, come look at this." His assistant, a lithe silver-skinned being, glided across the laboratory. "What is it, Doctor?" Xylos gestured to the display. "Look at this DNA sequence. It's from that primitive planet in the Milky Way. Earth, I believe they call it." Vilara's eyes widened as she took in the information. "But that's impossible. This level of complexity. It's beyond anything we've ever seen." "Exactly," Xylos said, his voice barely above a whisper. "And look here, this sequence. It's not random. It's a code within the code." As they delved deeper into the analysis, the truth became undeniable. Hidden within the very fabric of human DNA was a message, a set of instructions so advanced that it dwarfed even the Zarthan's understanding of genetics. Word of the discovery spread quickly through the ship. Within hours, the vessel's commander, Zarak, called an emergency meeting of the ship's senior staff. "What are the implications of this discovery?" Zarak asked, his normally stoic demeanor betraying a hint of concern. Dr. Xylos cleared his throat. "Commander, if our analysis is correct, and I believe it is, then the humans are not what they appear to be. This code, it's like a genetic time bomb. Given the right trigger, it could unlock abilities and knowledge far beyond their current capabilities." The room fell silent as the weight of his words sank in. Vilara spoke up, her voice trembling slightly. "There's more, Commander. The complexity of this code suggests it wasn't a natural evolution. Someone, or something, engineered humans this way. And they did it long ago, perhaps even before our civilization arose." Zarak's brow furrowed. "Are you suggesting that humans are some sort of weapon?" "Possibly," Xylos replied. "Or they could be the key to unlocking secrets of the universe we've never even imagined. Either way, the implications are staggering." The commander stood, pacing the length of the conference room. "We need more information. Set a course for Earth immediately. We'll observe them closely, gather more data. But under no circumstances are we to make contact. Is that understood?" The assembled aliens nodded in agreement, but a sense of unease permeated the room. As the Luminous Seeker changed course, heading towards the small blue planet in the distant Milky Way, none of them could shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something that would change the course of galactic history. Back on Earth, in a small, cluttered laboratory at MIT, Dr. Elena Reyes hunched over her computer, oblivious to the alien eyes now turned towards her world. Her dark hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, and empty coffee cups littered her desk. For months, she had been working on a revolutionary gene therapy technique, one that promised to cure a range of genetic disorders. But lately, something had been nagging at her. Anomalies in her data, patterns that shouldn't exist. As she input the latest results from her experiments, her computer screen suddenly flashed, displaying a sequence she had never seen before. "What the hell?" she muttered, leaning in closer. The sequence seemed to shift and change as she watched, revealing layer upon layer of complexity. Her heart began to race as she realized the implications of what she was seeing. Unbeknownst to Elena, her discovery mirrored that of the aliens light years away. As both human and alien scientists peered into the depths of human DNA, the universe held its breath, waiting for the moment when these two worlds would inevitably collide. In the days that followed, Alina barely left her lab. She called in colleagues, each one leaving more baffled than when they arrived. Word began to spread through scientific circles. Something big was happening at MIT. Meanwhile, the luminous seeker entered Earth's solar system, cloaking itself to avoid detection. The alien scientists watched in fascination as humans went about their daily lives, oblivious to the earth-shattering discovery that lay within their very cells. Dr. Xylos and his team focused their attention on centers of genetic research around the globe. When they detected the flurry of activity at MIT, they knew something had changed. Humans were on the brink of uncovering their own secret. As Alina Reyes prepared to publish her findings, and the aliens debated their next move, the stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of humanity and its place in the cosmos. The terrifying truth hidden in human DNA was about to be revealed, and nothing would ever be the same again. First contact. The luminous seeker hung in low Earth orbit, its advanced cloaking technology rendering it invisible to human detection systems. On the bridge, Commander Zarak stood before a vast holographic display of the planet below, his 4 arms clasped behind his back in a posture of deep contemplation. "Report," he ordered, his multifaceted eyes never leaving the swirling blue and white sphere. Dr. Xylos floated forward, his tentacles manipulating a datapad. "Commander, we've detected a significant increase in activity at several genetic research facilities around the planet. The humans are on the verge of a breakthrough." Zarak's skin rippled with concern. "How close are they to uncovering the truth?" "Too close," Xylos replied. "Particularly this human." He gestured, and the hologram zoomed in on a building in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Dr. Alina Reyes. Her work is remarkable. If she publishes her findings, it could trigger a cascade of discoveries. The commander's brow furrowed. "We cannot allow that to happen. Not until we understand the full implications ourselves." He turned to his security chief. "Prepare a covert team. We need to delay Dr. Reyes' work." As the aliens prepared their intervention, Alina Reyes was burning the midnight oil in her lab. The past week had been a whirlwind of discovery and sleepless nights. She stood before a whiteboard covered in complex equations and genetic sequences, her mind racing with possibilities. "It's not just a code," she murmured to herself. "It's a key." But to what? A soft beep from her computer drew her attention. She frowned, moving to check the alert. Her eyes widened as she saw the message on the screen. "Unauthorized access detected. Data breach in progress." No. Alina frantically typed, trying to halt the intrusion. But whoever was behind the attack was too skilled. She watched helplessly as months of research began to vanish before her eyes. Suddenly, the lights in the lab flickered and died. Alina froze, her heart pounding in the darkness. She heard a soft whoosh, like an airlock opening, and then silence. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling. A faint bluish glow began to emanate from the far corner of the lab. Alina squinted, trying to make out the source. As her eyes adjusted, she gasped. Standing before her was a being unlike anything she had ever seen or imagined. The alien, for it could be nothing else, stood nearly 7 feet tall. Its body was vaguely humanoid, but covered in iridescent scales that shifted color with each movement. 4 arms ended in delicate, multi-jointed fingers, and its head was dominated by large compound eyes that seemed to take in everything at once. Dr. Alina Reyes. The being spoke, its voice a melodious hum that seemed to bypass her ears and resonate directly in her mind. "We apologize for the intrusion, but we cannot allow you to continue your research." Alina's scientific curiosity momentarily overrode her fear. You're not from Earth. How do you know my name? Why are you here?" The alien tilted its head, an all-too-human gesture that sent a shiver down Alina's spine. "We have been watching your planet for some time. Your work, it threatens to upset a delicate balance." "My work?" Alina's mind raced, connecting dots she hadn't even known existed. "The anomalies in human DNA. You know about them. You You put them there. The alien skin pulsed with colors. No, we did not, but we have been searching for their origin for millennia. Humanity is special, Dr. Reyes, more special than you know, and potentially more dangerous. Alina's fear was rapidly being replaced by indignation. You have no right to interfere with our scientific progress. This could revolutionize medicine, cure diseases, or lead to the creation of weapons beyond your imagination, the alien interjected. The code within your DNA is not just a scientific curiosity. It is a legacy left by beings far more advanced than either of our species. Until we understand its purpose, it must remain dormant. As they spoke, neither human nor alien noticed the small drone hovering outside the lab window, its camera recording every moment of this historic first contact. Miles away, in a secure government facility, General Marcus Blackwood leaned forward in his chair, his eyes glued to the live feed. I want every available asset converging on that location now, he barked into his comm. Quietly. We can't risk spooking our visitor. Back in the lab, Alina's scientific mind was in overdrive. If what you're saying is true, then we need to work together. Humanity deserves to know the truth about its own genetic makeup. The alien seemed to consider her words. Perhaps there is wisdom in your suggestion, but it is not my decision alone to make. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the building. The alien's head snapped towards the door, its body tensing. We have been discovered. I must go. Wait, Alina called out, reaching towards the being. I don't even know your name. The alien paused, turning back to her. I am called Silos. Remember, Dr. Reyes, the key to humanity's future lies within you. Use that knowledge wisely. With a flash of light and a rush of air, Silos vanished, leaving Alina alone in the darkened lab. Moments later, the door burst open, and armed men in black tactical gear swarmed in. Dr. Reyes, a gruff voice called out, I'm General Blackwood. We need you to come with us. Your country needs you. As Alina was ushered out of her lab, her mind reeled with the implications of what had just occurred. First contact with an alien species, the revelation of a hidden code in human DNA, and now the military's involvement. She had a sinking feeling that her quiet life of scientific research was over. High above the earth, Commander Zarak listened to Silo's report with growing concern. You revealed yourself to a human. Do you realize what you've done? Silo's skin pulsed with regret. I had no choice, Commander. The humans are more advanced than we anticipated. They detected our intrusion. Zarak turned to gaze at the earth once more. Then the die is cast. We can no longer remain hidden. Prepare the ship for full disclosure protocols. It's time the people of Earth learned the truth about their place in the universe. As both humans and aliens braced for the chaos that was sure to follow, the secret hidden in human DNA loomed larger than ever. The next few days would determine the fate of not just one planet, but potentially the entire galaxy. The chase. The next 48 hours unfolded in a whirlwind of activity that would forever change the course of human history. As news of the alien encounter at MIT spread like wildfire through classified channels, governments around the world scrambled to respond. In a secure underground facility beneath Washington, D.C., Dr. Alina Reyes found herself at the center of a storm. She sat at a long table, surrounded by stern-faced military officers and harried-looking scientists. General Blackwood paced at the head of the table, his weathered face etched with concern. Dr. Reyes, he said, his voice gruff but not unkind, I need you to walk us through everything that happened in that lab. Every detail, no matter how small, could be crucial. Alina took a deep breath, her mind still reeling from the events of the past 2 days. She recounted her encounter with Silos, the alien's warnings about the hidden code in human DNA, and the implications of this discovery. As she spoke, the room erupted into a cacophony of voices, Military strategists saw potential weapons, scientists envisioned medical breakthroughs, and intelligence officers worried about global panic. Quiet. Blackwood's voice cut through the chaos. He turned to Elena. "Doctor, in your professional opinion, what should our next steps be?" Elena hesitated, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. "We need to continue the research, but carefully. If what Silos said is true, we're dealing with technology far beyond our current understanding. We need to proceed with caution." Blackwood nodded, then turned to his communications officer. "Get me the president. It's time to bring our allies into the loop. This is bigger than any one nation." As the governments of Earth began their secret deliberations, the luminous seeker hung in orbit, a hive of activity. Commander Zarak had called an emergency meeting of the ship's senior staff. "Our hand has been forced," he announced, his normally melodious voice tinged with stress. "We must assume that Earth's governments are now aware of our presence. The question is, how do we proceed?" Dr. Zylos floated forward. "Commander, I believe we should offer to work with the humans. They're on the brink of unlocking the code themselves. Guidance might be better than opposition." Zarek's skin rippled with uncertainty. "And if they use this knowledge as a weapon, we could be responsible for unleashing a terrible force upon the galaxy." The ship's tactician, a being of living metal named Kraz, spoke up. "Then we should take decisive action, neutralize their research facilities. It's the only way to be sure." The commander held up a hand, silencing the debate. "We will not attack, but neither can we allow this research to continue unchecked. Silos, prepare a team. We're going to make official first contact with Earth's leaders." As the aliens prepared their diplomatic mission, events on Earth were spiraling rapidly. Despite attempts at secrecy, rumors of alien contact had begun to circulate online. Blurry photos and shaky videos of strange lights in the sky flooded social media platforms. In her makeshift lab in the underground facility, Elena worked feverishly to reconstruct her lost research. But something was wrong. Every time she approached a breakthrough, her computer would glitch, or her samples would become contaminated. "It's like the universe itself is conspiring to slow us down," she muttered in frustration. Little did she know, her words weren't far from the truth. In orbit, Stylos and his team were using incredibly advanced technology to subtly interfere with Earth's research efforts, buying time for their diplomatic mission. But they weren't the only ones watching. In a hidden base on the far side of the moon, a group of humans gathered around a holographic display of Earth. These were the Guardians, a secret society that had protected humanity's hidden potential for millennia. Their leader, a woman known only as the Matriarch, watched the unfolding events with keen interest. "After all this time," she mused, "the Cedars have finally returned." One of her advisors stepped forward. "Should we reveal ourselves, Matriarch? The world is in chaos." The Matriarch shook her head. "Not yet. Let's see how humanity handles this test. If they prove worthy, then we'll unveil the true legacy hidden in their DNA." Back on Earth, Elena had finally caught a break. Hidden in the junk data of her corrupted files, she found a pattern. It was subtle, easy to miss, but it was definitely artificial. "They're hacking us," she realized with a mix of anger and admiration. "The aliens are actively interfering with our research." She rushed to inform General Blackwood, who immediately ordered a global communications blackout for all research facilities. "If they can't see what we're doing, they can't stop us," he reasoned. As Earth scientists worked in isolation, racing to unlock the secrets of their own DNA, the alien diplomatic mission descended through the atmosphere. Their ship, a dazzling construct of light and energy, appeared simultaneously over every major capital city on the planet. Panic erupted in the streets. Military forces around the world went on high alert. And in Washington, D.C., the President of the United States prepared to address the nation. "My fellow Americans, citizens of Earth," he began, his voice trembling slightly, "today, we are not alone." As his words echoed around the globe, Alina Rice stared at her computer screen in shock. The final pieces of the puzzle had fallen into place. The code hidden in human DNA wasn't just a message or a weapon. It was a key to unlocking the next stage of human evolution. And as the aliens prepared to land, as governments wrestled with the implications of first contact, as the hidden guardians watched and waited, Alina realized that the true chase wasn't between humans and aliens. It was a race against time itself. For the key was also a countdown, and humanity's time as they knew it was quickly running out. In the depths of space, ancient machinery stirred to life. The Seeders, architects of countless civilizations, turned their attention once more to the little blue planet they had set on its path so long ago. The test had begun, and the fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. Revelation. The world held its breath as the alien ships hovered above Earth's major cities. Streets once bustling with activity now stood eerily empty, save for the occasional military vehicle racing by. In homes and bunkers across the globe, humanity watched and waited, their eyes glued to screens displaying the sleek, otherworldly crafts that had appeared in their skies. In Washington, D.C., a tense atmosphere permeated the White House Situation Room. President Evelyn Chen stood at the head of the table, her face a mask of determined calm. Around her, advisors and military officials argued in hushed, urgent tones. "Madam President," General Blackwood interjected, silencing the room. "Dr. Rice has made a breakthrough. I think you need to hear this." All eyes turned to Alina as she stepped forward, her tablet clutched tightly in her hands. She took a deep breath, acutely aware of the weight her words would carry. "Mr. President, distinguished colleagues," she began, her voice steadier than she felt. "What I'm about to tell you will change everything we thought we knew about ourselves and our place in the universe." As Alina explained her findings, the room fell into a stunned silence. The code hidden in human DNA wasn't just a message or a weapon. It was a key to unlocking latent abilities that defied current scientific understanding. Telepathy, telekinesis, accelerated healing, and more, all lay dormant within every human being, waiting to be awakened. "But there's more," Alina continued, her voice now tinged with urgency. "The key is also a countdown. From what I can decipher, we have less than 72 hours before it activates on its own, ready or not." President Chen's eyes widened. "Activates? What does that mean for us, for humanity?" Alina shook her head. "I'm not sure. It could be the next step in our evolution, or—" She trailed off, leaving the alternative unspoken. The president straightened, her decision made. "We need to talk to them. Now." Meanwhile, aboard the luminous Seeker, Commander Zarak and his team prepared for their historic meeting with Earth's leaders. The atmosphere was tense, each alien acutely aware of the gravity of their mission. Dr. Xylos approached the commander, his skin pulsing with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "The humans have progressed faster than we anticipated. They've discovered the true nature of the code." Zarak's multifaceted eyes narrowed. "Then we have no choice. We must tell them everything." As the alien delegation descended to the White House lawn, millions watched in awe. The ship touched down with barely a whisper, its surface shimmering like liquid starlight. A ramp extended, and out stepped beings that would forever change humanity's understanding of life in the universe. Inside the White House, the meeting that would decide the fate of humanity began. President Chen, flanked by her advisors and Dr. Rice, faced Commander Zarak and his team across a long table. "On behalf of humanity, I welcome you to Earth," President Chen began, her voice firm despite the surreal nature of the situation. Zarak inclined his head, his melodious voice filling the room. "We thank you for your welcome, President Chen. We come not as conquerors, but as concerned neighbors." Over the next few hours, a story unfolded that stretched back millions of years. The aliens revealed that they, like humans, were creations of an ancient race known as the Seeders. These beings had traveled the galaxy, planting the seeds of life on countless worlds, each with a unique genetic legacy. Earth, Xylos explained, his voice filled with wonder, was special. The cedars imbued your species with potential far beyond any other. But with that potential comes great risk. As the alien spoke, Alina's mind raced. She interjected, "The countdown in our DNA. It's not just for us, is it? It's a signal." Zarak nodded solemnly. "Yes, when it reaches zero, it will broadcast across the galaxy. The Cedars will return to judge whether humanity is ready for the power hidden within you." The room erupted into chaos as the implications sank in. Humanity was facing a test, one they had no choice but to take, with consequences that would ripple across the entire galaxy. As debates raged about how to proceed, a new crisis emerged. Reports flooded in from around the globe of people manifesting strange abilities. The genetic key was turning ahead of schedule, activated by the stress and excitement of recent events. In New York, a young artist's emotions spilled onto her canvas, her paintings coming to life before astonished onlookers. In Rio de Janeiro, a grieving mother's tears miraculously healed her injured child. And in a small village in India, an old man's dreams reshaped the landscape around him. The alien delegation watched these events unfold with a mix of awe and trepidation. "It's happening too fast," Xylos murmured. "They're not ready." But Alina saw something the aliens didn't. In the chaos and fear, there were countless acts of kindness and courage. Newly empowered humans using their gifts to help others, to create beauty, to heal a world long suffering under the weight of its own divisions. "Maybe we are ready," she said, a spark of hope in her voice. "Not because we're perfect, but because we're willing to try to be better." As the hours ticked down, humanity faced its greatest challenge, not just in mastering their new abilities, but in proving they could wield them responsibly. The eyes of the galaxy were upon them, waiting to see if this young species would rise to the occasion or fall into chaos. In the hidden lunar base, the Guardians prepared to reveal themselves, ready to guide humanity through its transformation. And in the depths of space, the Cedars approached, their ancient minds focused on the little blue planet that held so much promise and so much danger. The moment of truth had arrived. As the genetic key turned its final rotation, as humanity's true potential began to awaken, the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. The revelation of the terrifying truth hidden in human DNA had brought them to this point. Now, it was up to humanity to write the next chapter of their cosmic story. New dawn. The sky above Earth shimmered with an otherworldly light, a cosmic curtain being drawn back to reveal a stage where humanity would perform its most crucial act. As the final hours of the countdown ticked away, the planet below was a swirling maelstrom of fear, hope, and unprecedented change. In Washington, D.C., the coalition of human leaders and alien delegates worked tirelessly to manage the global awakening. President Chen, her eyes ringed with exhaustion, but burning with determination, addressed the world once more. "My fellow citizens of Earth," she began, her voice steady despite the weight of trillions of lives, human and alien, resting on her words. "We stand at the dawn of a new era. The power within us, hidden for millennia, is awakening. It is a gift, but also a grave responsibility. How we use it in these crucial hours will determine not just our fate, but that of countless civilizations across the stars." As she spoke, scenes of both chaos and wonder unfolded across the globe. In the streets of Tokyo, a group of awakened humans worked in perfect harmony to contain a raging fire, their minds linked in a telepathic network of cooperation. In the Amazon rainforest, indigenous shamans, their latent powers fully realized, began to heal swaths of devastated land, trees, and wildlife springing up in their wake. But not all was peaceful. In some areas, fear and confusion led to conflict. In a tense standoff in Moscow's Red Square, newly empowered individuals faced off against military forces, the air crackling with psychic energy. Dr. Elena Reyes, now working directly alongside Silos and a team of human and alien scientists, monitored these global developments from a hastily assembled command center. Her eyes flicked between dozens of screens, each telling a story of humanity's struggle to cope with its newfound power. "It's not enough," she murmured, fatigue and frustration evident in her voice. "We're running out of time, and there's still so much conflict, so much fear." Vilas placed a comforting tentacle on her shoulder, his iridescent scales shimmering with empathy. "Do not lose hope, Dr. Reyes. Your species has surprised us at every turn. Perhaps they have one more surprise left." As if in answer to his words, a new signal began broadcasting across all frequencies. In orbit, Commander Zarek's eyes widened as he recognized the source. "It's coming from your moon," he said in disbelief. On screens around the world, a figure appeared, a woman of ageless beauty and wisdom, her eyes holding the depth of millennia. "People of Earth," she said, her voice resonating with power and compassion, "I am the matriarch of the Guardians. We have watched over humanity since the Cedars first gifted you with the potential you now awaken to. The time has come for us to stand with you, to guide you through this transformation." As the matriarch spoke, explaining the true history of humanity and the role of the Guardians, a sense of understanding began to spread across the planet. The chaos didn't cease entirely, but a new purpose, a cosmic context for their struggles, began to take hold in the minds of billions. In the command center, Elena watched in awe as the data streams began to shift. Conflicts de-escalated, cooperation increased, and the use of newfound abilities trended towards creation and healing rather than destruction. "They're adapting," she breathed, a smile breaking across her face. "Humanity is rising to the challenge." As the final minutes of the countdown approached, a new signal reached Earth. The Cedars had arrived. Their vessel, a construct of pure energy and unimaginable technology, took position above the planet. In a flash of light, representatives of the Cedars appeared simultaneously in every major gathering of humans around the globe. In the White House, a being of pure radiance stood before the assembled leaders of Earth and the alien delegation. "Children of Earth," the Cedar spoke, its voice echoing not just through the room, but in the minds of every human on the planet. "You stand at the crossroads of your destiny. Show us what you have become." What followed was not a test of power or technology, but of heart and spirit. The Cedars observed as humans around the world used their newfound abilities not for personal gain or domination, but to heal their planet, to bridge divides, to reach out to one another in understanding and compassion. They watched as Elena Reyes and her team worked tirelessly to help others control and understand their powers. They saw world leaders, guided by the wisdom of the Guardians and the Council of Alien Allies, laying the groundwork for a unified Earth ready to join the galactic community. As the last second of the countdown faded away, the Cedar representative turned to President Chen, Commander Zarak, and the assembled leaders of humanity. Its form shifted, becoming something more comprehensible to human eyes, a being of warm light, with a smile that held the love of a proud parent. "You have faced your trial with courage, compassion, and wisdom," it said, its voice filled with joy. "The power within you is no longer a ticking clock, but a gift fully realized. Welcome, humanity, to the cosmic family." The words reverberated across the planet, and a cheer rose up from billions of throats. Humanity had not just survived its trial. It had emerged transformed, ready to take its place among the stars. In the days and weeks that followed, Earth became a beacon of hope and innovation in the galaxy. The alliance between humans, Guardians, and their alien neighbors ushered in an era of unprecedented peace and discovery. Elena Reyes, hailed as a hero for her role in deciphering the genetic key, found herself at the forefront of a new field of cosmic genetics. Her work promised to unlock the potential hidden within other species, guided by the hard-won wisdom of humanity's own awakening. As Earth's first embassy on a distant world neared completion, Elena stood with Silos, watching the twin suns set on an alien horizon. "I never imagined this," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "When I first discovered that anomaly in our DNA, I thought I'd found a cure for genetic diseases. Instead, we found our place in the universe." Xylo's scales shimmered with agreement. The cedars were right to place such faith in humanity. Your species faced its greatest trial and emerged stronger, wiser, and more united. The terrifying truth in your DNA wasn't a threat, but the key to your true potential. As night fell on this new world, the stars came out, no longer distant and unreachable, but a glittering map of humanity's future. The secret hidden in human DNA had been revealed, and with it, a new dawn for Earth and the entire galaxy had begun. In the vast tapestry of cosmic civilizations, humanity had woven itself into the pattern, bringing with it a unique thread of resilience, creativity, and hope. The journey that began with a hidden code in human genes had led to the stars themselves, and the adventure was only just beginning.